Hi, welcome to Flight Test. I'm TJ.
And I'm Alex.
And this is the Blade Torrent.
110. You guys probably have been seeing a lot of hype around this thing. Lots of people are really loving it.
Yeah, I mean, micro brushless everything is kind of in now, whether it's quads, airplanes we've been playing with. I mean, everything's getting these little tiny brushless motors, and it's making them amazing.
Yep, and the mini quad underground scene, every other month there's a new fad, and this month it's micro brushless quads, and this is the one from Horizon. Actually, Blade to be specific. It is the Torrent 110.
Yeah, we'll go through just real quick and dirty on some specs.
Actually, I want to fly it, man.
Okay, well, we'll fly it, and then we'll talk.
It's nice and clear.
Yeah, dude.
So that is a good point. This little guy, the little tiny brushless quads, typically they aren't going to be flying a GoPro or any kind of HD cam. So that means you're going to be recording through a digital video recorder. In this case, it's built into our goggles. These are the Dominator HD3s. They're awesome. Got a DVR built in. So what you are seeing is actually what I'm seeing right now. And hopefully I can see well enough to do some sweet flying.
Have fun.
So first flight, is this a 3-cell?
This is a 3-cell. So
oh boy.
They advertise, yeah, it's great. They advertise it for a 3-cell or a 2-cell. A 2-cell, 800 milliamp hour. You're going to get close to 5-minute flight time with that battery. But it is a little heavier with it, and you're not getting as much power. But it's still really good if you're a beginner pilot or intermediate or even flying indoors. With the 2-cell is great. Once you put this thing on a 3-cell, that's when it really shines, man. You're getting an experience that feels like a 4 or 5 inch experience on something that is a micro brushless. And I wouldn't recommend flying to the inside with the 3-cell.
It has a ton of power.
Yeah.
I'm just flying slow. Christian wanted me to get some shots, so I'm just getting this out of the way so then I can go crazy. I don't want to hover this thing.
Yeah, it is kind of loud. I mean,
it is pretty crazy. It sounds angry.
Well, it's 7600 kV motors, 1104. So if you've seen our Baby Hawks or the Gremlins, they have an 1104, but they're around a 5200 kV, which makes them a little bit quieter. But this one with the higher kV motors, it has a little bit more punch, and it's really screaming. Like he's way over here, and I can just hear him having a blast right now.
I'm going through here. Don't hit anything. So it flies fantastic. I am noticing there's some jello in the...
yeah, a little bit jello in that camera.
I mean, they're super high kV motors, so if you bent your prop a little bit or damaged your prop, you are going to get a little bit of jello. But honestly, like, I feel like a hummingbird.
Yeah.
And I've said that before with other quads, but like this, like the weight and everything, like you can turn on a dime. The speed is absolutely incredible for something this size.
Now we do have a timer on the radio. If you get one of these, it's a bind and fly. It comes with the quadcopter, which the bind and fly edition has the Spectrum quad race serial receiver in it, which, man, if you buy the receiver separate, that's a $40 receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome that it's in it. So it has telemetry. So while you're flying, let me switch here real quick.
Hold on, dude. Oh, what's that?
It's talking to him. So when he's flying, once his battery voltage drops below a specific point, it's going to let him know that his battery voltage is low. But I also have it on a switch, so while we're flying, we can just flip a switch and kind of hear what the voltage is. So that's an awesome feature of this little micro.
Dude, this is the first battery I've ever flown with it, and I'm like already 10 times more comfortable with it than when I started.
Yeah.
It really carries its momentum really well. Like, when you get going fast, it's really super easy to hold your altitude. So when you're going through, when you're going through tight spaces like that, it's really easy to not lose or, go. It's vibrating. I'm done. I'm done. It just fell out of the sky.
Yep. So that means we're right now. Yeah, voltage come down about 9.5, so it was time to land, and it let you know.
It lands. So it's the same as the Inductrix, which obviously is made by Horizon Hobby, but once it hits that certain voltage, it doesn't fall out of the sky, but it dubs your power down so you can't fly, and slowly you just kind of fall to the ground. That way you don't, it's kind of nice. It kind of stinks because your quad's like somewhere way over there, but it's also kind of nice because you don't kill your batteries.
But that's why you set a timer.
Yep.
Set a timer, so the manual, if you go through it, it's really amazing. Blade's really good about having a nice, concise manual where if you follow it step by step, you're going to be flying within 5-10 minutes. You're going to have a good experience. So the manual actually goes through, tells you how to set your switches up, how to set your timers up, how to get everything ready to go. And it's really simple. Let's go get it, dude. I want to fly it.
I had a blast, man. You got to fly it. I want to see you fly it. All right, so we got another battery in.
Yep.
You're good to go. He's way more of an impressive pilot than me. We got girls in the pavilion over here, so watch out for that. And you're clear for takeoff.
Alrighty.
So one thing that's cool about this easy there, buddy. This little guy comes in at $199 for the bind and fly model. Now what that means, just like the airplanes, the micro airplanes and even the bigger airplanes from Horizon, B&F, what that means is it comes with the quad and it comes with the user manual. Now this does come with a couple extra parts like spare props and stuff like that, but other than that, you're not gonna be getting anything, not even a battery or a charger. Now this guy needs a minimum of a 6-channel transmitter. So there is a ready to fly option for this that's gonna come at a little bit higher of a cost if you're brand new to quads and you don't have that stuff already. That being said, TJ, would you suggest something like this for a beginner, maybe for a first quad for somebody?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, why not? So that's the cool thing about it is it runs on a 2-cell 800 milliamp, and just the weight alone is going to make it a more docile flight experience.
Yeah.
So you keep it in self level, you fly with the heavier battery and learn the ropes. And then once you're ready to kind of graduate, man, you put a 3-cell on it, put it in rate mode, and just learn to fly.
Yeah, now one thing too is I was kind of skeptical. It looks kind of breakable to me, but I was surprised to find that it actually has a 2mm bottom X plate, which the 4 motors and all the components are attached to. And then obviously the body cover and the prop guards are plastic. Now the prop guards are removed. So once you get comfortable with flying, you're not running into stuff all the time, you can take those off. Now, one thing too that I've noticed is it is definitely got some sound in it. If you're flying this indoors somewhere like in a gymnasium, it's gonna be pretty annoying. But at a park like this, it's actually substantially quieter than a normal 5-inch quad.
We're down.
You out of battery?
Out of battery.
So that's the thing, when it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
You're done flying. The quad's like,
Well,
no more.
And that's the thing, so they tell you to set a 3-minute timer, which we have on our radio. However, if you are really pushing it hard like I was pushing it just now, that timer is going to be a little bit too long for you. So if it was mine and I changed up the time, I'd probably go for like more of a 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And just really take it safe and be easier on the battery.
So it's still one piece.
Yeah, it takes the tumbles pretty well. And even if it didn't, one thing Blade's really good about is having replaceable parts.
Yeah.
Every single piece of this quad can be bought and replaced.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So then on the bottom here, it does have the 2mm carbon fiber plate, just like the bigger, it's bigger cousins, the mini 5-inch mini quads and stuff like that. And the nice thing is, since this is smaller, it doesn't have as much mass. So when you pile drive it into the ground, it's more than likely not going to break anything substantial. It takes a hit pretty good from what I've seen on the internet.
Well, it's like having a little hard hat.
Yep. All your components are safe inside there.
So it has a F3 flight controller, runs on beta flight, and you can see it has a little cutout on the side, so you can plug it into the computer and tune it, change your rates if you need to. It is really decently tuned straight out of the box. So that they say it's professionally tuned, which I'm not going to deny that because it
flew fantastic.
Yeah, it handled everything great.
It was locked, as a lot of the guys like to say.
It also has a 4-in-1 6-amp ESC. As we said before, the 7600 kV motors. Just everything is great, and I really like the idea here on the top of the canopy of the VTX antenna.
Yep. Really
durable.
Yeah.
The RX antenna is really durable.
Yep. It's a little dipole there, so no clover leaf.
Yeah.
Not going to get as much range, but we're in a pretty decent sized park, and I could go pretty much anywhere without having too much breakup. So overall, it was pretty good. Now, it's running 150 milliamp 5.8 video transmitter, and it's got the little 600 TVL camera there, which is running at 120 degree field of view, which is pretty good. It felt pretty comfortable. The colors and the contrast and everything looked pretty good. It was a little dark when I was going under the shadows, but it's honestly very doable.
That's honestly my only complaint with this thing. So it's really good all around, but the camera kind of suffers from the same thing any of the micro cameras kind of do, is light transitions take a little bit of time to catch up. And if you're staring directly into a sun, or like if there's a wall that is white, it's going to overexpose and kind of blow that section out for you. But I mean, here, kind of overcast day, I didn't have any problems at all.
It's honestly pretty impressive. Now the little 600 TVL camera right there, it does tilt. So if you're a beginner, you can remove that tilt and kind of fly straight on.
0 up to a 35 degree tilt.
Up to 35. So for those of you who are new to mini quads and new to FPV, what tilting the camera does for you, so you can see we have a tilt on there. When the quad is in forward flight, you can still see the horizon straight on. So it allows you to fly faster, because if you didn't have that tilt, you'd be flying in forward trying to go really fast, you're staring straight at the ground. So when you see these mini quad racers with the camera tilted, that's why they do that. So the video transmitter is built in there, and it actually has a little tiny button right in front of the antenna, which you can use, I'm assuming, to change the channel?
Yep, change the channel on the band.
So that's pretty nice.
Another cool thing I like about it is a Spectrum bind and fly. And the cool thing is, usually Spectrum, you plug it in, you wait till it flashes, then you turn your radio on and bind it. This one actually has a bind button. Right,
nice.
Right in the front, right on your flight controller.
Yeah, there it is.
And that's really one thing that was new for me, is whenever I went to bind this up, held it in, plugged the battery in, and right away you were good to go.
Also, you don't need to worry about bind plugs, which is awesome. Overall though, you mentioned that you thought it would be good for beginners, and I honestly at first I didn't think that it would be a good beginner quad, but if you are looking to get into mini quads, FPV racing, honestly I'm with you. I think this is a good way to start. It has the performance there that's going to allow you to grow. It's going to take you from the start. You're going to be able to grow pretty far with this thing and get good at flying. It flies like a big quad.
I like the ability to have something where you can kind of take your baby steps with it, but also progress to something that's really going to stick with you throughout your hobby career, I guess you could say, because I mean, even now with as much experience as we've had, this thing
still blast.
Yeah.
Now that being said, just because we think this is a good beginner quad, it is by no means like a toy. Like, even though it's like the size of my hand, you fly this in your house and you go too much throttle, it's gonna go straight through the ceiling. Like, it's got a lot of power, very, very high RPM motors. That's something that I know catches a lot of newcomers off guard, is how much energy these little things actually have inside of them. So definitely be careful flying an open space if you're new.
Take it outside in the field. Like we do everything, whenever we have a new build with a quadcopter, get it away from you. You know, start off slow, get into a hover, kind of feel it out, see what it's doing, and then ease into it.
Yep.
So a cool thing about this quad is it's a micro brushless, so it is lighter weight. All up weight with a 3-cell 450 milliamp hour battery, 132 grams.
Holy cow.
Even if you use the bigger 2-cell 800 milliamp, you're looking at 129 grams all up weight. It's only 84 grams without a battery.
That's pretty
So I mean,
awesome.
it's really light, so you don't really have to worry about any of the registration stuff that not only the US has had, but also, you know, Canada's having issues right now. So this will allow you to do things without having to really worry about the man looking at you.
So I think that's it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much touched on everything.
Yeah, so we want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us here at the park. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, make sure you smash that subscribe button, just like BAM! Just smash it. And then hit the like if you like this video. We do new videos like this like all the time, like almost every other day, sometimes even more than that. So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys next time.